When Kobe and I decided to create a podcast and coined it the Father Son Podcast, most would feel this is a gimmick for the podcast, and that couldn't be further from the truth. From the day Kobe was born, I introduced him to video games. This was a way of life for me, as I can remember my father buying me the Odyssey home system, where the cellophane field that clung to the TV determined what game you were playing. Kobe's love for video games grew, as did the bond of a father and a son. When I introduced him to online play, his world opened to new heights. He learned quickly that the incredible gaming experience wasn't just something shared between a father and a son, but there was an entire world that shared his passion for gaming. Gaming was just part of his upbringing, as school or sports was. We always made arrangements that a video game experience was just an arm's length away, even when we went on vacation. As Kobe got older, our experience took us to the road, experiencing events like the Great E3 to more modern events like Summer Game Fest, the Xbox Experience, IGN, and PAX. Kobe graduated from college and now works in the video game industry on the Xbox team. So, as you can see, it was nothing but natural progression to now share our experience and love of the industry through our podcast. Now sit back and enjoy the ride.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Father and Son Gaming Podcast right here on Active Reload Gaming. My name is Kobe, aka Kobe127. That is Kevin, aka Octane699. My thumb's going the wrong way. And down there for the very first time is a new special guest of the podcast, Nate or J Boog 6008. You might have seen him on TikTok a few times posting his collection. He's also in the Discord. Dad, Nate, how you doing?
Not too bad, Kobe. Not too bad. Not too bad. I want to welcome Nate to the show.
What's going on, boys? What's going on?
It is going good. Hope each and every one of you had a Halloween. Dad, I know you were dressing up for Halloween, going out and trick-or-treating, right?
As an old video gamer, that's what I was. I had a controller in my hand and I was knocking door to door.
And I heard you were taking kids' candy as well. You were like, give me that. Nate, did you have a good Halloween? Did you do anything for it?
Yeah, I took my son Jacob. I took him trick-or-treating like we do every year. I've been doing that with him forever, but that's about it, man. You know what I mean? And out hunting like always.
There you go. Yeah, so I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining today. As always, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. We are the Father and Son Gaming Podcast, and you can follow us here on all of our socials right here on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We are at Active Reload Gaming on Twitter or X, and Twitch. We're at Active Rel. That's with an REL, Active Rel Gaming. Right here, kind of hovering in my zone, is the Discord. Feel free to scan that QR code, hop in, start chatting with us, start talking about all things video games. We're trying to build a community with each and every one of you, get to know you, and just have fun in the Discord and talk about, upcoming things, what we're playing, recent pickups, etc. Next order of business is the schedule for the rest of the year. I can't believe it's already November. Daylight saving time has happened. It is. This year has really flew by, so we're going to throw this up right here. This is what is on the horizon for the rest of the year. So November 10th, we're going to do our last review of the year. We're going to be tackling Keeper, Outer Worlds 2, Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines 2. November 17th is going to be our Game Awards predictions episode. The Game Awards nominees will have gone out. There will also be, announcements at the Game Awards. So we'll see. We're going to give our best foot forward, try to predict what's going to happen, who's going to win the grand prize. November 24th, it'd be fun to look into the future and start talking about the biggest releases of 2026 and what games we're most excited for. You could just have the podcast be 30 seconds of my dad just saying Grand Theft Auto 6, but we like to get a little bit more than GTA 6. December 8th, we're going to be talking about what does Game of the Year mean. This is going to be the string of Game of the Year episodes coming out because my dad and I always have a healthy debate of what does Game of the Year truly mean. December 15th will be our own Game of the Year show. We have been playing many games throughout the year, and we're going to do our own Active Reload Gaming Game of the Year and crown the top game of this year. And I hope it's not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer from my dad. Then December 22nd, we're going to be... Yeah. December 22nd, we're going to be going over our favorite gaming holiday memories, just kind of doing a holiday episode. And then we're going to be off until 2026. So we have a lot of stuff on the horizon. Bombay, hello to you, and hello to you, Cherry Tomato Boy. Welcome to the chat, and welcome to the TikTok viewers hopping in as well. So, Nate, we always start this podcast talking about what we've been recently playing, any kind of recent pickups, So I'm going to start with you as the guest of honor. What have you been playing recently, and have you picked up any recent games?
Well, I've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy for the PS5. I'm like on this Marvel kick where I
Yeah,
feel
Guardians
like
of the Galaxy is a great game.
it's actually fun. You know what I mean? I wish I could be like Drax or, Gamora, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But like I've been on a Marvel kick lately. I don't know why, but I was telling your dad, I feel they need to bring back the video game movies. They need to bring those back. So I've been playing a lot of that lately.
Yeah, the old video game movie tie-ins are is definitely a thing of the past, but I do kind of miss, some of them are good, some of them are really crappy. The one that I
Right.
always go back to being one of the best is Peter Jackson's King Kong that came out on the 360, and I think it was on the PS2 as well, which we're going to be getting into PS2 stuff a little bit later. But the 360 version was the definitive version because it had the HD graphics for the first time. The gameplay was pretty revolutionary for the time for an FPS, and being able to play as the titular character King Kong, it was pretty fun. Dad, do you have any
Wasn't King Kong a launch title for the 360?
I think it was.
I think it was too. But with the movie stuff, though, again, when you get back into the old movie stuff, when they created the game within a year just to put the title of the movie in it, you knew that it wasn't going to be that great.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things. I don't
Also,
want to.
going back to you're talking about the launch title. I want to do, it's the big 2.5. It's 2025. The people who worked at Best Buy at the time, they're not going to watch this, and Best Buy's not even going to know. Do you remember? Do you remember the people at Best Buy slicing the case and getting the King Kong disc for you?
Yeah, just to let you guys know, they used to call me the Best Buy guy because I was actually, they'd bring me down to corporate and I spent way too much money there and I was on the high end, but I had such a good relationship with them. What they used to do is they used to cut, because back then they'd get the games in probably a week and a half before, and they would slice it down. My pre-order, they'd slice it down, they'd slide the disc out, I'd take the disc home and I'd play it. And then when the game came out, I would just go and they'd give me the case, no harm, no foul. So, and then I
Always
can
a hustle.
remember us being panicked, Kobe and I, like we would unplug, the internet from our game.
We played Modern Warfare 2 like 2 weeks early.
Oh my goodness, yeah, we were finished the campaign by the time the game actually came out. So I had a lot of connections in the industry, but that was back in the fun days,
And that's when all the data was on a disc, so you didn't have to go and download everything.
Correct.
Facts. You can hop right on right away, throw the game in, and keep going.
Yeah.
Correct. So it was back in the fun days. But
Times,
yeah,
good times.
they used to do that now. Now Best Buy doesn't give out discs at all or anymore. So
No.
it's all good. But yeah, what I've been playing, well, again, I played some of the Outer Worlds too. That's part of the review. I'm not going to get into it. I finished my last 20 minutes of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It is a banger. I'm telling you, it gets you into the holiday mood. Go out there, get Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I think they have it on PS5, Switch, and Xbox downloadable. Xbox doesn't have a physical version, so go ahead and download it, man. I'm telling you, it's a banger.
I looked up gameplay, and being that this is a PS2 episode, it looks like like old school crappy PS2 collectathon games.
Oh my goodness, it doesn't. No way. It's got modern graphics. It looks like
No, it does not. I'm pulling up the clip.
does.
I'm pulling up the footage.
Please pull up the
Nate
clip.
Nate is the third party here. Nate, what have you, besides Guardians, what have you been picking up recently as I get this?
I'm always
game
on the
up?
hunt. I'm always on the hunt. Like I like to collect. So when I'm grabbing something, I just see something. This is where me and your dad differ. You know what I mean? He has a goal and what he wants to get. I see something and it's fire and it's part of something I would like. I grab it because half the time I never see it again. So I grabbed a big pickup for me was Felix the Cat complete in box, and then I got what else did I get? I got a bunch of stuff this week. It was something. I got a lot of stuff this week.
Okay, now tell me these graphics aren't PS2 graphics. Give me a break.
These are 100% PS2
Oh my
graphics.
goodness, they're not. Oh my goodness, they're not.
It looks like the movie.
It is. It is 100%. You're playing the TV show.
Kobe, are you being the Grinch over there, bro? Is that what it's about?
I'm telling you,
I'm
it's gotta be
not
something.
being. Oh, why am I getting flamed now? No, this game looks like a PS2 game.
Dude,
There's
Bro,
nothing
you
wrong.
can't hate on Yukon Cornelius. Come on.
UConn's the bomb in this too, man. I love UConn.
There's
But you're
nothing
playing
wrong
the
with
actual story.
There's nothing wrong with a PS2 game, but I mean, where's the textures on the ground? Like,
Oh,
it's
come
just,
on.
Dude,
It's not supposed to
Bumbles
be.
bounce. Remember,
Yeah.
Bumbles bounce. Remember
There's
that.
not supposed to be the textures. It's supposed to be like you're playing the
Claymation.
TV show.
oh
Correct.
man. All right. I'll leave it. I'll leave it to the chat. Chat, what do you think?
No, it's good, man. Play it.
That's it. That's it. Bumbles bounce. Remember that.
There you go.
So Felix the cat, you were talking about.
Yeah, I got Felix the Cat, and like I said, I'm on a Marvel kick. I just got a complete in-box X-Men strat for Sega Genesis with the poster.
Okay.
Dad pulled my arm to get that one. I got that, and then Spider-Man for Dreamcast. Got that. More Dreamcast stuff. I'm trying to stay away from it, but it just keeps pulling me back.
Bullshit. I haven't. This is the first week in I don't know how long that I haven't picked something up. Now I did buy something. It's down at Planet Retro, so I bought it. It's sitting there. It's just waiting to pick up. So that
I take credit for that too.
Yeah, it's a Splatterhouse for PS3. I have Splatterhouse for Xbox 360, but the Splatterhouse for PS3, when you finish it, opens up the other Splatterhouse games. So that's just why I wanted to get it. So in theory, I did pick something up this week. It's just that I don't physically have it. It's sitting at the store.
Gotcha. Well, with that out of the way, we are here to celebrate the 25th year anniversary of PlayStation 2. So obviously, PlayStation 2 released in Japan in March of 2000. But in the Americas, it released on October 26th, 2000, which was a long, long time ago at this point. Dad, I remember you saying the story that you couldn't find the PS2 anywhere, and then your buddy found it on a pallet in Kmart, like a whole bunch of them. So
I was afraid that was one of the first times that I didn't have, that I thought I wasn't going to have the console on release date, because I've had every console on release date. And my buddy and I, we waited up at Walmart because that was open 24 hours at the time. We couldn't get it because they gave out the tickets and we just got there too late. And we thought we weren't going to get it. And he was on his way to work and he stopped at a local Kmart and he's like, dude, there's an entire pallet sitting here. So jumped in the car, ran down. So I did have it. It was just late in the day that I ended up getting it. But yes, the PS2. It was the only one I almost didn't have day one release date.
before we move into this, Bombay is calling you out, Dad, saying, so that's why Dan wouldn't sell that to me last week. I think this is in reference to Splatterhouse. There's some calling outs in the chat right now.
Well, just to let Bombay,
I made a phone call.
That's what it was. Nate was in Planet Retro, Bombay, and he called right away because when he's in there, if there's something he knows what I'm collecting, he called right away and said, here it is. And I'm like, Dan, put it aside. It's me. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. And I Venmo'd him money within seconds, and it's been sitting down there for probably close to a week now, if not a couple more days.
Got to get down there and pick it up.
So don't blame me, Bombay. Blame Nate. He's the one that
Bombay said he got a 32X instead, so there is a trade-off.
I saw it's 32X. It's
saw that.
Yeah, it's nice.
But looping back to the PlayStation 2, so you two are obviously, I think you have played more PlayStation 2 than I have. You guys are older than me. It's you grew up with these consoles. It was there's a lot to get into, but I kind of want to start with both of your like experience with the PlayStation 2. What does it mean to you? And you crown it the best console of all time, because there's always that conversation. So Nate, you being the guest of honor, I want to start with you. What is your memories with the PS2? What does it mean to you? And is it the best console of all time?
PS2 to me, like, it made me and my dad close. Because I remember going to Rent-A-Center to rent a PS2 to see if we liked it. We didn't even have a memory card. We got NBA Street with it and the PS2 from Rent Center. I stayed up all night to beat NBA Street with Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, and Dikembe Mutombo. I'll never forget it. And then when we got online, SOCOM 2
Oh yeah.
came out and it changed my life. My dad and I'd be upstairs, my dad be downstairs. We have our headsets on, be up all night. Like on a Friday and a Saturday night, that's what I look forward to. And I made friends and met people who to this day, me and my dad are friends with. My dad's best friend is, I still call him P Stone because that was his old gamer tag. I still remember my gamer tag for my PS2 was Sport Guy 197 because I couldn't put 187 on it. So the PS2 holds a very important to my heart. You know what I mean? The Maddens, like the Madden 2004, Michael Vick on the cover was crazy. NBA Street, like the PS2 just had banger after banger after banger after banger, and there were many things in that system that brought more families together because like you played with your dad, and it was an affordable one where you didn't just have a game system, you had a DVD player,
Yeah.
which at the time DVD players were more expensive than the PlayStation at one point. You know what I mean? So it was a big time. And my dad and I, to this day, we game. Like that's what my dad is a huge gamer. But
Yeah.
having the PS2, man, that was the way to roll.
I think you hit the nail on the head too. I think now again, I'm not downplaying PS2, but I think some of those numbers were super inflated because you hit the nail on the head. And I was going to say that it was cheaper because again, Sony owned the right to Blu-ray. And if you go back in the day, Xbox had HDD. They were the two formats that were battling. It was almost like the VHS, the beta, if you're old enough to remember beta and VHS.
Right.
HDD and Blu-ray. So Sony owned the Blu-ray and they were putting it into the PS2s. And when you'd go out to a Best Buy or to a Circuit City, they had them at Circuit City at that point too, you would look at a Blu-ray and the PS2 was cheaper, almost half the price of some of the Blu-rays, and people were buying them not so much the game but to do it for the video. But where I hold the PS2, and you kind of touched upon it, it was my first real system that I played online, and you hit the nail on the head with SOCOM. If you go back and watch the intro video of me introducing the father son, and you see Kobe sitting as a little boy with the headset on, that's actually what he was playing. He was playing SOCOM on the PS2 in that, because I remember it vividly. But that to me was my first hardcore online, to go in and play online and really be what the line is today. Because if you remember back at the PS2 didn't come out with the modem. You had to actually buy the modem separate, and the modem wasn't Ethernet. It was phone line. Like you had to plug the phone lines in. And I can remember my wife and I, like even when before Kobe, it was like, hey, don't get on the phone. I'm going to be gaming tonight, and if she's probably upstairs right now saying boom shakalaka, because she got so tired of hearing NBA Jam that she would hear it in her sleep. Is it the shoes? Like she's probably saying that right now and smiling. But yeah, I think that was my biggest memory of the PlayStation 2, because there was banger games on it, and franchises that started and franchises that took off during the PS2 era. And I just think that it was, to me, it's that online gaming that really sticks out to me.
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, I was born in '99, so really didn't get a lot of time with the PS2. Just only as very young, because the Xbox 360 came out, and that ended up being my main console growing up. But the PlayStation 2, I remember having fond memories with, for example, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom ended up being one of my favorite games of all time. And I remember playing a lot of movie tie-ins. For example, one of the best we talked about earlier, but one of the best movie tie-in games for me of all time is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 2 Swinging Around the City, it is one of, like, it for the time was one of the best, if not the best superhero game to go on the market. I can also go back to Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, like being able to play those games, like some of like my most fond memories with like old school retro gaming is with those, And when I went back home over the summer, I actually booted up the PS2 and was trying a couple games, and I'm like, wow, this is so nostalgic, but man, how far games have come. Like they're like going back to play SOCOM now. I'm like, oh, the control scheme just doesn't make sense. Like a modernized like shooter of today feels so much different. But like if it wasn't for these games of the PlayStation 2 generation, like we wouldn't be as far along as we are now. Uh, so and they, obviously we saw your kid there. Have you introduced your kid to the PlayStation 2? Like, have you started passing down the memories that you made with your dad to your kid?
Do I? Yeah. I think I do. We play. It's funny you say that. We were playing. I make him play when I play. If he wants to play with me, we play the retro stuff together.
Yeah.
We don't play the new stuff. He likes to play NHL hits. Yeah. That's his favorite to play, and because like it's the only hockey game where it's not. There's no rules, so you just do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And we like to play Mario Party together. We play that. On Switch, but we do play a lot. Like he likes Switch. He likes to play Mario Strikers.
Yep.
That's a good one we play together. But I'm in the retro. I like him when he plays that. But the PS2, like really, like you said that's the first one we play together. He'll come out and ask me like, "Can we play NHL Hits?" And I'm like, "Sure." Like that's not a bad one because like I remember playing that with my dad and my cousin. Like I can remember the PS2 has a lot of fond memories for me because that was the one you would pick up a game, you grab it and be like, "Yo, I'm taking this over to the house." Grab your memory
Yeah.
card because I thought it was the dopest thing. You could put your memory card in here, and you had your memory card in your game, and you're like, "Now we're gonna play off my save file."
Well,
Yeah.
I think the big thing, like that I commend you for with Jacob, is that I think kids of that generation should start with retro because you can't appreciate, like Kobe just said, you can't appreciate the games today. I think you get jaded with the games today until you start and see where they started. And again, I know Kobe and I have talked about numerous times about starting this gaming club of the month so that we could go back and see, and we're going to do this. It's just been a timing issue to go back and see even adults like that didn't play back to see where these new games came from. Like again, as simplest form as a Mario being the first platformer. Like you play platformers like Astrobot now, and you're like, these are great, but you should go back and see where that all came from. Or like the over the shoulder with Gears of War. I'm a big Gears guy. There was a lot of influence from Metal Gear Solid that came from that. Like there's so many things that we need to make sure that the youth understands where this came from. And I commend you on that because a lot of parents will say, well, here's a PS5, just play it. Like, and it's still great. I like that they're into the video games, but I like when the youth sees the history and understands the history. That to me is super important because we don't lose this. And I'm still a firm believer that retro is just going to keep growing. I'm a firm believer in that.
Yeah, we do have a couple comments. Cherry Tomato Boy says SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is a goated game. Fully agree. And Bombay says, imagine just being able to put a game in and play, then going modern system and having to wait an hour for it to download so you can play it.
Facts.
It'd be culture shock.
Truth. Yeah.
Facts. There's nothing better. Taking that cellophane off, right in.
So I want to open the floor to you two, and Nate, I'm going to start with you. I'm going to ask you two questions, and it's going to be tough. But what is your favorite PlayStation 2 game, and what do you think is the most underrated PlayStation 2 game?
My favorite PlayStation 2 game is because I love hip hop, I love the culture, I love it. Death Jam Fight for New York. That's easy. Let me tell you, there was nothing better than you got the big chain, you got yourself the bling, you got yourself the J's on, you got the baggy pants, and I used to do my guy with the wife beater. And he had the bandana on, and he had the Timbs on.
Yep.
And I'd just be out there. There was nothing better than curb stomping somebody and not going to jail for it. And then you got in the background, you got Snoop playing, you got Ludacris playing, Redman, Method Man. Like I'm a big Wu-Tang guy, so that really got Ghostface.
Yeah.
Like I said, and Method Man was like one of the main characters in that. So it was like super dope for me anyway, I should say. But like an underrated game for PS2. Like one that I like to play, like to this day, and I don't think gets enough love, but I believe it's like because it's kind of like a knockoff of the big boy, the Grand Theft Auto. I love GTA, like I love it,
Are you
but
gonna say True Crime?
nah, Scarface.
Scarface. Okay.
Underrated. What happens if Tony Montana turned around and shot that guy before he shot him in the back? You know what I mean? What would happen? Because this right here, you get this, dude. What kind of game can you shoot somebody, do lines of coke, kill people, and get a mansion and see dirty politics? And it's the best is it's written by the people who wrote the movie. So what can you do?
Planet Retro Video Games is in the TikTok check. Hello, and it says Mega Man X3.
Yeah, Dan has my Mega Man X3. I won off him, and he's fighting me on it. That's a whole nother story to finish my Mega Man collection. I'm working on it.
Nice.
Dad, your favorite PS2 game and what you think is the most underrated PS2 game?
Well, to me, the favorite PS2 game is Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I'm a Vice City guy. I still think that that's one of the best Grand Theft Autos. We'll see about the new one. And I know that sounds cliche. It is, but I probably played the most of that of one game because I did play the heck out of PS2, but I think that one really grabbed me, and I think I dressed my guy as the wife beater, and you get to pump up and get them all pumped up and everything else. But I think the most underrated, and this is going to sound weird, but it's going to be Street NFL, and I'm going to tell you why. Because today, there you go, and today, the problem I think we have today is because when EA owns the license and you don't have all these different, you're pigeonholed in, and I grew up, I was a massive sports fan. Like I had every Madden out there, everything. I haven't bought a Madden probably in 10 years because I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's a rinse and a repeat. All you're doing is giving the new players on the team, and it's a pay to play. And I think they got crazy with the schemes of the button schemes. And to me, I haven't bought one, but I liked back then when they would take the sports and go to the extremes. Like I that.
Extreme sports games were such a defining genre on the PlayStation 2. Like, SSX was an incredible snowboarding game. All the streets, MX versus ATV, having that on the demo disc, playing that to death. Like I do miss some of the extreme sports games. Suno85 and TikTok chat says NFL Street goated. So good for you.
Boy.
I'm waiting to see that NBA game now. I don't know if you saw that. The new it kind of looks like NBA Street.
Yeah, I think I posted that in the Discord. Oh god, I forget what it was called.
Oh man, I was just telling my boy about it. 3 versus 3. You give me Luka, Giannis, and LeBron, I'm straight. I'm lit.
I agree.
I'm lit.
And just as we're talking about these, since Planet Retro's in there, I'll give them a shout out, man. If anybody's looking for any retro games or gaming systems, check out Planet Retro. If you can't get down to Quakertown, Pennsylvania, then watch them and whatnot. Ask them. They'll give you everything you need. That's where Nate and I get most of our stuff.
Yeah. He was also on the podcast.
Tell him Nate sent you. Tell him Nate sent you. Nate's got a birthday coming up on the 12th. Dan needs more business so he can get me something good for my birthday.
So for me, from like the limited exposure I had for the PS2, there's many games that I can pull from for being my favorite. I can go to the Metal Gear Solid 3. I can go to Shadow of the Colossus. I could go to Eco, Devil May Cry 3. But I think as a kid growing up, it would have to be the Spider-Man 2 game. I just think that was my favorite growing up. I absolutely loved it. Now, my most underrated game, and I don't know if it is truly underrated, but I feel like not enough people talk about this. It is a game called War of the Monsters. War of the Monsters was a kaiju battling game on the PS2 where you were able to pick up buildings, pick up like antenna towers and pale each other. And it was an arena battler. And I remember having such fond memories with War of the Monsters. And the cover to this day still is burned in my mind. It's the gorilla throwing a haymaker and the robot blocking it. Like War of the Monsters was a key game for me growing up, just being there, sitting in the living room with my friends, just smashing buttons and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you just like ripped off his arm. I can't believe you're impaled. Like it was an amazing game to play.
Nope. I'll agree with that one. That was such a great game. But growing up in my household, you had to be in the kaiju world.
Yeah.
So.
I was just about to say your dad had a little influence on that one, right?
Yeah.
Because
Oh yeah.
you go to PS2. One that I think also gets slept on a lot, the Tony Hawk games.
Oh
They
yeah.
were just they were great on the PlayStation 1, but then the PS2 one.
Pro Skater 2 is one of the best games of all time to this day.
And that's on the PS1. So when you go over to PS2, I remember waiting to go to EB Games, waiting to get Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And I'm like, how can they top 2? 3 was amazing. Just the soundtrack was great. Like,
Yeah.
I can remember with the PS2 stuff, waiting with my mom, my dad, my brother. Like, my brother was a big, like, he liked strategy games. The worst thing was with him, he could beat a game in a 18-hour like session. Then you're stuck with the game now. He would beat on the hardest level. Like, what do you do? That's the only thing difference now with DLCs. But with PS2s, like when you would beat the game, you couldn't use cheat codes, and that's just when the internet started. Like I still remember all my Grand Theft Auto R1 circle, R2 up down, left
Yep.
right,
Yep.
infinite ammo. I'm lit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
those are great times, man. The PS2 just brings you back to stuff that was amazing. So,
I had stacks of papers that I would write down the finishing moves for Mortal Kombat.
For Mortal Kombat.
I'd be scrolling through them and trying to look.
So, with all this game talk, though, I do want to get into an article that IGN posted on October 26, 2025, titled The Best PS2 Games of All Time. We're going to go through this list together for the very first time. I know it's your two's first time seeing this list. I cheated a little bit. I went through, I pre-screened it because I think we're going to get some hilarious reactions out of you two. And as we're going through, if you have anything to say about this game, go for it. If you think this game should not be on the list, scream about it. I do not care. We're gonna have fun with this.
I will. This is gonna be a good one.
Are you boys ready?
I'm ready.
Dad,
go for it.
All right. Number 25 is Guitar Hero 2.
Yes. Great game.
Now, I just had to look this up, so I should know this. So just before you get going on there was 3,467 North American games released for PS2. And these are only the top 25. I liked Guitar Hero, but I don't know that I would have put it in my top 20.
Guitar Hero 2. Bret Michaels was in the middle. That's when Bret Michaels was doing Rock of Love. Love that one, especially because Slash was one.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Yes.
Guitar Hero 2 holds a special place in my heart. It was the first Guitar Hero that I played, and it's a banger.
I can remember standing there playing it. Yes, great game, great
banger game, but does it deserve to be in the top 25? I'll agree.
Kevin,
we will find out.
DMC's in that one. You should love that he's in that game.
100% agree.
All right. Number 24, Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Hands down should be there. I don't think that it should be a 24. I think it should be a little higher, to be honest.
24 sounds right for me.
Yeah, I think you just said there's over 3,000 games North America launched. Like to be in the top 25 is pretty impressive, but there are just objectively better PS2 games on the market. All right. 23 is Soul Calibur 2.
Yes, Yoda.
Good fighting game. Great
fighting game.
But if Mortal Kombat's not in front of it, then I say no.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find out.
Or Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Or Street Fighter. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Number 22, Persona 3.
People are gonna yell, but I've never played any Persona, so I have no clue.
I've also never played a Persona, but I know there are Persona fans in the chat, and I will acknowledge how revolutionary Persona is. Like, it is one of the best JRPGs of all time. So I think, like, in the grand scheme of PS2, this makes sense as to why it's here. But not being I'm curious to see if they're going to throw Persona 4 on here as well, if they're going to do a double Persona.
You're 100%. Like, there's fanatics out there for Persona. Like, it's big, but I just never played it.
I don't think it's that belongs in the top 25, honestly. That doesn't belong in the top 25.
Number 21 is Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts is another big.
Number 2, though?
2.
Nah. Kingdom Hearts number 1.
You're taking one?
It all.
Okay.
You gotta put the one that started it all. It's like the one ring that rules them all. Like you don't put
Yeah, but
two
isn't
together.
Kingdom Hearts 1, wasn't that a PS1?
No, it was
No,
PS2.
they're PS2.
Okay.
That was one
I
of the
know
big
Kingdom
PS2
Hearts
games.
has a massive following as well.
Cherry Tomato Boy says, no booing or I unsub. Persona 3 changed the JRPG game.
I'm booing it every time. I can't stand that.
We need to keep the subs, Nate. You must like Persona 3 right now. Number 20 is Time Splitters 2.
Now that's a good game. Now that's a good one. That's a good game.
I don't know that I played 2. I know I played 1. I don't know that I played Time Splitters 2.
Okay. Number 19 is Ratchet and Clank Up Your Arsenal.
100% deserved. They
Love
need
Ratchet and
to
Clank.
Round of applause.
Yes.
Great franchise, I should say.
Yes, Ratchet and Clank is one of the best platforming games of all time, and Up Your Arsenal was, probably the best. I think my favorite version of Ratchet on PS2.
Absolutely.
Number 18 though is Jak 2 Renegade.
See, now, again, a great PlayStation had the franchises that could just drop banger after banger.
Yeah.
I like Jack's, but I don't know that I would put it in front of Ratchet and Clank.
I would. I think Jak 2 is a better game.
I would. Jack's.
No, I liked Ratchet and Clank.
Number 17 is Eco.
I've never played any of the Eco games. I'm not really big into the anime games. I'm just people, and again in the chat, will probably shoot.
I think classifying this as an anime game is very wrong. This is not an anime game in the slightest.
But I'll get to I've never played any Final Fantasy game.
This has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. This is an artsy, story-driven puzzle game.
Well, you can have it.
I was just about to say it's a glorified puzzle game. You literally took the words out of my mouth. That's all it is. It's a puzzle game.
You can have it. I don't want it.
Yeah, you trust me.
On the top 25 in my book. No, get it.
So Bombay in the chat says if it's a JRP/RPG, it's an anime game. Are you being if you're being sarcastic or if you're saying the truth? Because if so, Expedition 33 is considered a JRPG and that is not an anime game.
That's funny. That's funny.
Number 16.
I'll back up Bombay. We're talking PS2 JRPGs. They're anime.
Number 16 is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
There it is. What I see.
3.
See?
Yep. I'll take
right there.
3.
Right there. One of my favorites.
Down.
All right. Number 15 is Burnout 3. I forgot about the Burnout franchise. Burnout is a great driving game.
No. Burnout doesn't belong on the list. There's Midnight Club. Take Burnout and throw it out the window. No, thank you. No,
really? Really?
Between Need for Speed, any of the Need for Speeds, Gran Turismo, any of those racing games, Midnight Club Dub Edition, dopest soundtrack.
Midnight Club is one of my favorite. But Kobe, you got to remember when we were on our pilgrimage through Seattle to 20 some game stores or 18 game stores in one day. Don't you remember we were looking for Grand T for Nate out there? Every game store we were looking for the Gran Turismo stuff. And
Cherry Tomato Boy says Eco was made by the Shadow of the Colossus studio. That is true. And Shadow of the Colossus, I think, is one of the best games of all time. Moving forward. What?
It's anime.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Any game
number 14 is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Any game that their hair comes to a spike is anime, in my opinion. Or
you are rage baiting, and I am not going to accept the rage bait in this chat. Number 14 is Prince of Persia: Sands of Time.
Love Prince of Persia, but I'll tell you what, when they try to revitalize this, was it the beginning of this year that the new Prince of Persia? I didn't like the new Prince of Persia. I love the originals, but I didn't like the new one.
I just don't think Metroidvania is your genre. So, because it is a really good Metroidvania, the new one.
Listen, the second one is a great game. I love this. I
like Sands of Time. I like Sands of Time a lot.
Bombay says he agrees with you, Kevin, but Cherry Tomato Boy says you're on your cancellation speed run.
Starting it early.
Yep. Number 13 is Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
Outstanding.
Great series. Yep. Great series. My dad would play the Devil May Cry series. I wouldn't even play it. This is a true story. I had to set up for it. I would sit there and just watch him play like it was a movie just to enjoy it because the Devil May Cry series is just fire. It's fire when they put you in a fighting game because of that. You know
Yes.
what I mean? They have to bring your character over to a fighting game because everybody loves your character.
I mean, one of the best hack and slash, if not the best hack and slash game genre series of all time.
Yes.
I love Devil May Cry. I think every one of them, 2 gets a lot of hate, but I don't think 2 is necessarily a horrible game. I think it's a fine game. Like I would give it like a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's like the Antichrist as some people make it out to be. I think Devil May Cry 2 is fine, but 3 is one of the Cherry Tomato Boy brings up a good question. Is DMC an anime game?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, in my mind it is, but I love this one. It's
You
one
knew
of
that
the
was
few-
coming.
Yeah, because this is anime as hell. Devil May Cry. So
One of the few.
number 12 is Katamari Damacy.
You
Never
know
heard of
how
it.
I feel
Never
about
played it.
Katamari. It's. I told you before. I don't know. This shouldn't be in the top 25.
I think I played Katamari once. It is a great game, but this is one I know has a lot of fans, a lot of passionate fans. Is it top 25? I don't know.
No,
I
not top 25.
I don't even know what it is.
I'm getting worried already because we're almost halfway through the list, and ones I have in my head that shouldn't be here, they must be in the top 10. Then
Yeah, I'm
You know,
getting
Katamari
very
is
upset here.
Bombay in the
Correct.
chat says they made Devil May Cry, the Netflix show. It's anime, and I'll ask you, they made Cyberpunk an anime. Is Cyberpunk an anime? We're gonna get into some real funny questions here.
No, they didn't, but they made Ultraman, which is one of my favorite
Yeah.
childhood series, into an anime, and I loved it.
Number 11 is Bully.
Bully is outstanding. They need
Well,
Rockstar
amazing.
needs to remake this game.
amazing. Rockstar don't miss. I say it all the
Yeah.
time. Rockstar don't miss.
But
Oh, yeah.
they need to remaster, remake, whatever you want to do, I'll take it. And I don't care for those naysayers out there that say, well, they couldn't remake Bully in today's world because of the PC. Bull crap. You know, when you take a look at Grand Theft Auto 6 that's coming out, that's breaking every rule under the sun. I think Rockstar is the only studio that gets a pass on anything they want to do.
Also,
Rockstar don't miss.
Yes.
fun fact, in the UK, Bully was not titled Bully when it first launched. It was titled Canem Canis Edit. It only became Bully in the 360 generation when they released the Scholarship Edition.
Wow.
So you can get a version of Bully that is not called Bully if you go hunting for it, and it's going to be the PS2 with the white spine. But yeah, in the UK, it's Canem Edit. So you can go find that alternative version out there. Same game though. All right,
Okay.
we're heading into the top 10. What do you guys think so far? Are they cooking?
Well,
They-
all
they
10
got it.
better be the ones I want.
They got a decent list, but there's some heat that they're missing.
All right. Well, we still got 10 more to go. Number 10 is God of War 2.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
God of War, anything.
Anything. One of the
Yes.
best franchises of all time. Top
Yes.
5 all time.
Yeah.
You can say
I know.
that. I can put it in a fight for top 5 all time.
Yeah. Kratos, all you got to do is say Kratos and it's over. You're done.
Number
So,
9 is
yes,
Okami.
I never played it.
Mm.
I
Nah.
wouldn't put it in the top 10, even though I know I didn't
Not
play it.
my top 10. Not
No.
my top 10.
Number 8 is Gran Turismo 3.
There you go.
I
Isn't
was
that
just
one
saying
we
it.
got you? Isn't that one we got you out in
Yep,
Seattle?
that's exactly one. I remember playing this with my father. We played Gran Turismo 1 and 2. When this came out, hours. My dad and I would play hours of Gran Turismo, and he wouldn't even let me play. I just sit there and watch him play. I was stupid as a child. Was I?
But isn't that the one we got you out in Seattle?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Tesla?
out in Seattle.
Number 7 is Final Fantasy X.
No.
Is that the one that started the broadband adapter? Extra memory you needed in the back of the PS. I don't know if you remember when you would get a PS2, it had an adapter in the back. It came with back
Sure.
here. I think that's the game. You had to put this into play. My dad played Final Fantasy so much. He had a keyboard that he had hooked up, and he would play that game all night. Like, it was terrible. I'd be upstairs playing something, and on a Friday he did that. On Saturday he did SOCOM. But he would start playing that Friday night and play till Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
I
Bombay
never
says
played a Final.
FF10 isn't even top 100.
I'm with you, Bombay.
Number 6 is Silent Hill 2.
Hands down.
Boo! Get
Hands
it out.
down, yes.
No.
Nate doesn't like horror, so
So
yeah.
stupid.
down,
So
yes.
stupid. So stupid.
No.
I'm a Pennsylvania boy, and I'm saying no. It's horrible.
No,
I love
man.
Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is one of the most generational horror games out there.
Hands down, agree.
I still don't understand how it's scary.
Well, then
That's
play
what I
it.
never get.
Play it.
I've watched people play it. Like I've watched my dad play Silent Hill 1. Like now Resident Evil scared the crap out of me.
Well, funny thing you say that because it might be coming up here soon. Number 5, Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty.
Hands down, yes.
100%. 100%. Yeah, a Metal Gear Solid 2 is so good, so
MGS.
good.
By the way, still good to this day on the PS2. Like still
yeah.
good. Like
I
you
mean,
can pop that in now and still like great game.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid as a franchise, any of them you can pop in and it just does. It plays well, no matter which one you jump into. The Cherry Tomato Boy says it's Silent Hill an anime game.
Yes, I agree 100% with you.
Kind of, yes, but I still like it. There's a handful.
Ow! I'm not even. There's rage bait happening. I'm not enticing this anymore. Number 4 is Resident Evil 4, hands down. Resident Evil 4 revolutionized third person.
Yeah. Yes, RE, anything RE. And speaking of that, I cannot wait for the new one to come out. And
is Resident Evil an anime game?
Yeah, but I like it. I think it was Bombay that showed us on Discord that I'm highly disappointed with the collector's edition of the new Requiem. It's going to be bad. But anything RE goes on my top 10.
You have Cherry Tomato Boy crashing out with this anime take.
No, and come on. I'm sorry. He's a manga guy. I'm sorry. That's his job.
Bombay says the only memory I have of any of the NGS games is MGS3, I think, and Snake doing naked cartwheels for no reason. That's the best part. Number 3 is Shadow of the Colossus.
Yes, hands down.
Yes. Shadow of the Colossus is cinema. It is art. It is absolute art. It is incredible. I can't say much more than what's already been said about Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah, nope. I'm with you.
All right. We're getting down to the final 2. Are you two sweating at all?
Yeah, I want to throw stuff right now. So
well, after we get done the 2, I'll make a statement.
Number 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater.
Yeah. MGS, anything, hands down.
MGS 3
is actually one of my favorites.
MGS 3 Snake Eater. I mean, I just played the remake this year. It still holds up. You know, the game is just absolutely phenomenal. The story is revolutionary. It still holds up to this day. Kojima is always on one, and it just stands the test of time. Number 1, what do you all think?
I still think it's going to be Grand Theft Auto. I think it's going to be Vice City.
It's got to be Vice City.
San Andreas.
San Andreas. Wow.
I said it's either San Andreas or Vice City. But you're telling me in the top 25, Vice City's not in there?
Correct.
Throw the whole list out.
Here's where we go back to it. Now, this is always the debate that I always say with Kobe, and I don't care what it is. Whether it be, for the Grammys, whether it be for the video game, what's constituting it? Is it sales? Is it hours played? What is it?
Well, it can't be sales.
That's what I'm saying. So what is it? Who is making it? And the thing, it's funny. We've always said this. If you ever want to get, clicks, make a list, because everybody will debate any list that's ever made. But the reality is that if you didn't have Grand Theft Auto, Vice City in the top 25, then there's just something wrong with the list. There's just, come on now. You have two Metal Gear Solids up there and not 2 Grand Theft Autos. Come on now. Come on.
Because Vice City and San Andreas are practically the same game, just different stories. If I'm going to pick one, I'm doing San Andreas.
See, to me, I was a Vice City guy. I liked Vice. I love both of them.
San Andreas.
It's not the same game. One's set in the 70s, one's set in the 90s. It can't be the same game.
Correct.
It can't be the same game.
Every Grand Theft Auto has been mechanically the same since Grand Theft Auto 3. San Andreas, just in terms of the PS2 generation, San Andreas had the most fleshed out mechanics and the most memorable mechanics. Vice City doesn't even come close to the mechanics that are put in San Andreas. San Andreas had some of the most fun mini games compared to Vice City. for example, going and lifting to lose body weight so you can get jacked, or just getting absolutely fat. Like San Andreas had everything. Like it is a perfect Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but you saying that they're the same thing, that's like saying you could go to everything. Okay, every Call of Duty's the same. One's
Yeah.
just in Vietnam and one's in the Middle East war. You could say that about every game that's a franchise. Mario is just a guy jumping around. I mean, come on.
Trying to save Peach, who keeps getting
Correct.
now.
And
So
that's why
you
if I was to
can't
put
say
a
that
list, I'm only going to pick one of them from the franchise. Now I see
Yeah.
you're going to say,
And
but
why
there
did
was two.
Why did you pick two? Why did they pick two Metal Gear
Because
Solid?
Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 3 are such fundamentally different games that yes, they are in the same genre, but MGS2 plays completely different than MGS3. They are two separate games, two separate entities.
Let's go back to the very beginning. That's what I said. There's no way anybody that's listening to this podcast can say that Guitar Hero 2 should be on that list and not Vice City. No way. There's
100%. That I
no
agree
way.
with. Yeah.
And I like Guitar Hero 2. Don't get me wrong, but there's nobody that can say that Vice City is worse than it should be under Guitar Hero 2. Nobody.
But how do you not put in like some of the launch titles for PlayStation 2? Like no NFL Street, no NBA Street. Like NBA Street, the soundtrack. You got that was did you know? Now this is a fact. This is a proven fact. That was the first basketball game that had Michael Jordan's likeness in it. Because remember, he wouldn't give his likeness up for any of the NBA Lives, NBA Jam. He's not an NBA Jam. None of them. Your dad can tell you. You had to play as stupid Ron Harper. Ron Harper, you had to play as him if you wanted Scottie Pippen or Dennis Rodman. But Michael Jordan is in that game. And where I come from an inner city kid, you would talk about NBA Street all day, NFL Street all day. You're telling me you don't have any of those games in there. You don't have none of the Need for Speed. None of them. You're kidding me. You put Burnout. You put Burnout over Midnight Club.
I told you.
I can remember your dad playing Midnight Club Dub Edition all the time.
Yep.
And all you heard was Manny Fresh, cars real big, belly real big. Like you couldn't tell me. And because if you're going for sales, Need for Speed Underground 2 is one of the top 10 sales of all time.
Sure.
All time. But you're gonna put Burnout?
Who put this list together?
IGN. Yeah.
IGN. So what nerd do you gotta go smack for this? Because they should be smacked. They should be smacked.
Well, again, you always know that there's not going to be any sports game on a list. The sports games get no love.
Yeah, but you got there's some that are revolutionary, especially for the PS2. Like NBA Live with Carmelo Anthony brought the dunk contest to video games. Like this is just crazy. This is just that was so stupid of a list. Like you don't have any. This is what really bugs me. You don't have any Dragon Ball Z. You want to talk about anime? No Dragon Ball Z games. So Budokai.
Now that's an anime game.
Like are you kidding me? Like Budokai 1, you got to finally do a Kamehameha wave. Like if we're gonna talk about anime, like come on, y'all. Like who made this list?
Well,
like for real.
I see you have a lot of games and you're a collector, so I do want to start talking about like the reason why you collect, but I'm gonna take a quick word from our website.
Got games you don't play anymore? Turn that collection into cash at ActiveReloadGaming.com. It's fast, it's easy, and you get paid quick. Or if you are looking to buy, check us out on eBay or scroll through our Games by console. Find us at ActiveReloadGaming.com.
And we're back. We got a couple chats. Bombay says San Andreas added in the extra stuff like working out. Red Faction not being there makes me sad, but that has to be top 100. Guitar Hero is an anime game and doesn't belong top 25. And Cherry Tomato Boy says this podcast is filled with nothing but crash outs right now. LMAO.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Oh, but let's take a step back. We're here to celebrate you two, and I have collected games, but I want to start talking about because a lot of retro gaming is collecting now, and especially with the PS2. 3,000 games, there's a lot to collect. So I'm going to open the floor to you. I want to have an honest and earnest conversation about the collecting world. So I don't even know, where do I want to start? I'm going to ask you two very simple questions. Why do you collect video games? Who wants to start?
I'll let Nate start that.
I've been collecting stuff my whole life, like on and off. But the one thing that has always stayed constant to me is video games and sneakers. Like two things I just love with all my heart. Like video games, it takes me back to a part of my childhood. Like my first memory of a video game was Tetris Attack on Super Nintendo with my dad. Like I can remember sitting there holding the controller, playing with him and hearing Yoshi. And there's a little red guy in the game that's made out of lava. And the sound he would make, my dad would do it. It would make me laugh. He would go, "Rrrr," and I could just hear that to this day when I play it. I hear my dad. So he loved video games, and my brother did. And like I can remember playing it. And then like as I got older, my parents gave me everything they could, and when I wanted something, they gave it to me. But like certain games you couldn't get, I didn't get a game every week. I got a game when we could afford it. So it was big for me as I got older to make sure to get things that I couldn't really get right away. So now I get it just as so I'll say, I finally own it. Like I finally got it. Like I always wanted that. And that can go from a $5 game to a $300 game. It doesn't matter to me. But saying I have NFL Street, NFL Street 2, Tetris Attack, my N64 Pikachu, things that I wanted as a kid that there was no point of getting it because you already had one. Now,
Yeah.
now I can have multiple ones.
My thing of collecting, it really isn't nostalgia for me. Like I don't collect, and again, I hear you, Nate, and I love that. But like obviously me growing up, I didn't play with my father. It was too, in the 70s, and by the time NES came out in the 80s, like my father would have went to play that. My thing of collecting is because I like it. Like I just like something. If I like it, I'm going to buy it. And then we talk about going down rabbit holes. Like, you just see just a couple of the Xbox OG consoles back here. Like I bought one, which was the green one, which was the Halo. And I'm like, cool. Then I get on, I'm like, oh shit, I never knew they had this. Now I go down the rabbit hole and I have to have them all. Like that's just, I buy it because I like it. Do I necessarily buy it for the value? No, I don't. To me, I don't care. Like, I don't care if that Xbox there is worth $10 or $2 million. I could care less. I keep them in here because I like looking at it. You guys can't see because this is the office that I use for my work. But on this side of my bookcase and on the same side over here, I have consoles going down the side. I like to live around my stuff. Like I like looking at this stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I like it because it makes me feel good. Like I walk in every morning and I turn this light on to go to work, sit down here at 7:30 in the morning and go to work. And I like looking at this stuff. Like that's just part of why I collect. I do play them too. Like I try to, my backlog in this podcast has really put a damper on like me just going out and play. So I buy a lot of the retro games or the retro systems because there are some of the systems that I didn't have growing up because I abandoned the Sega Saturn and Sega Sega Dreamcast because I thought Sega burned me. Because I bought the Sega system and then the Sega CD and then the Sega 32X. And I think it was within 4 months they came out with the Saturn. I'm like, I'm done. You just burned me. You only made under 100 games for the 32X. They said he just got his. Like that burned me. I thought I'm spending my hard-earned money on this. I'm done. So that's kind of why I collect, because I like it and I like to look at it. That's the main reason why I collect. It's not for the monetary value for me. Now, if it goes up, it's a bonus. Don't get me wrong. But if I like it and it's $2, I'm going to buy it. I don't really care. I like it for that reason.
I mean, for me, I think it's even more simplistic. I grew up with physical copies and it's what I'm used to. And I also like having something on my shelf to show I own the game. Also, physical ownership is nice because, well, if I want to trade it in, if I want to give it to someone, even with like data not fully on discs, they can still install the game. Like they don't have to go purchase it themselves. it's really as simple as that. And like, even if you're at the holidays, like nothing, like it is more gratifying to receive a wrapped up game versus like a digital code. Like there's just something about it. Yeah, it's like, and I don't really collect retro at all. I just have mostly modern stuff, like whatever the generation is I'm playing, that is what I collect, and I just get all my games physically through that. I will buy digital if I have to, but I would prefer to have a physical collection. Obviously, space does become an issue at some point, but you make do, you figure stuff out, and I just like having it on my shelf. It shows like my library. It's like the reason why I still have physical books. It's like I like to be able to like page through the book itself and read it physically and hold it and display something on my shelf. Even with like physical movies, it's like I still have some of those because, well, movies are a whole different thing, but you get like the better quality on the disc. But yeah, it's pretty much it for me. Also, being able to physically hold the case and look at the artwork is amazing. And I also love collector's editions. You can see back here, it's a bunch of statues from collector's editions I've gotten. Death Stranding 2, Assassin's Creed, Doom, The Dark Ages, Elden Ring, Night Rain. There's Blade Runner. Oh, Blade Runner's down there. Starfield, and then there's Metal Gear Solid, Snake Eater.
Well, let's be honest. You don't collect retro because you know that when I die, you just get my collection. So let's be honest here.
That's what I say about Jacob. He's gonna get mine when I'm gone.
So that's why he doesn't spend his money on the
you know
retro.
what I mean? But it goes back to is like, you see, I'm a big wrestling fan. I love my wrestling since I was a kid. These are things I remember watching with my mom and my dad, and my certain, that take me back. And like when you collect these things, like to me, there's nothing better than holding a cartridge to this day. Like I love it. I love the way it feels. It's exciting to see. Like, okay, like you have a Chrono Trigger. This is a top Super NES video games, like expense wise, but playing wise, it's a freaking great game. Like this is an amazing game to play. And if you like anime, this is made by the guy who drew Dragon Ball Z, one of the greatest anime of all time. Like, but then like you go to games that like aren't the best, like you go, this is over 200 game. This was at the end of the NES's life cycle. And it's a fighting game. It's okay, but you're not going to write home back because the one for Super Nintendo is a lot better. But value-wise, I got this because it's okay game, but I also love Ninja Turtles. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then you go into the big boy, the DuckTales. Like, I love DuckTales.
I also want to quickly loop back to Chrono Trigger. I just want to say for the anime fans in there and manga fans, rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. That was one of the saddest deaths. Like with the industry lost a legend. So that was a very disheartening day. Also, like to say, like the same time, like when the author of Berserk died, it's like, damn, like this sucks. So.
I want your dad to play. So I was telling your dad, I want him to get on Chrono Trigger because I think he will really love it. It's so good for even to this day. The art style, fire, the video game itself, but like the value of it. Because if you go to the value of it for collecting, like Earthbound, okay, Earthbound's a great expensive game. Is it a great game? No, it's not.
So let me ask you this though. I'm going to take over the seat for a second here. Do you collect for nostalgia or do you collect for investment?
I collect things I like. You know what I mean? That's what I always tell you, and I've told everybody. Like me and you were talking. I'm a Wu-Tang guy. I had to grab the Wu-Tang game. You know what I mean? Yeah. I love.
For those of you out there, I'm looking for the Wu-Tang controller.
So what did I say? I love Marvel. Marvel's Capcom. Great expensive game. You know what I mean? And then you go to like stupid games. Like I said, I play with my dad. Blasto. I talked to dad into getting Blasto. You know what I mean? Jersey Devil. Like these are games that are worth money. These are worth money. Like these aren't cheap games, but they have a heart in me. You know what I mean? And like I remember, like okay, I tell you that all the time. One of my favorite games, right there. Sonic Adventures 2. Like the introduction of Shadow. Like how can that not be a part of your heart if you love Sonic? So it's not just like they're a little expensive, but they bring joy to you at a time of your life when life was simpler. You know what I mean? Like as you get older, you got other issues, but you can pop Sonic in and you hear the soundtrack and get so excited as a child. Like your childhood comes back to you. Like you remember sitting there playing up on your TV looking like this. You know what I mean? That's how I feel when I collect. When I see certain
Hang on. Bombay asks Nate, do you have a magic hat that you're pulling all these games out
a
of?
little bit. See, they just keep coming. Spider-Man, and we got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and it goes down, man. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for PS2. We got Spawn.
That should have been in the top 25.
Spawn definitely
not Spawn. No, Marvel. No, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 should have been in the top 25 over Soul Calibur.
How did you not put this game not in the top 25? That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you not put this right here? It's one of the most expensive PS2 fighting games, and you don't put it in.
But see, we're back to though expense doesn't relate to playability or
game. But what I'm saying is this game right here now is
reaching to the choir there.
Like you can't even like Kobe and I met last time we talked. Did we not say you could never remake a game like this? But how good was this game? If they could remake this game, it would print money, but the amount of money it would cost to print the game. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. And it's like I've been collecting stuff my whole life, and seeing this stuff brings joy to me.
So, and I want to loop back, and that I want you get to your question. But as you've gone through and purchased a lot of these games, talk me through your research before buying. What signals tell you a listing is under/overvalued? Why do you go for that game? I'm kind of curious about that.
For me, what I've done, I use a lot. I use eBay price charting, just like everybody else. But this is what I do when I go into I call them negotiations, because that's what it is. I feel if you're a retro game store and you put a price tag on something and you tell me the price is the price, then you're most likely not gonna get my business, because you're pricing it at what the market says it should go for. Okay, so when it comes to that, there's certain games like, okay, this is my last pickup, Felix the Cat. I just got this. This game is an expensive game, CIB. It's an expensive game. But my guy Dan knows when I call it the Nate price. What is the Nate price? So when I go in, I know what it goes for on price charting. But I look at the last 5 sales, because they show you all this stuff between eBay, price charting, wherever they sell. You add those up and divide it by 5. That shows me what I think the price should go at this current market. You don't mark something from 10 years ago when Chrono Trigger, because if you go back to Chrono Trigger about 2 years ago, it was almost a $300 game. Now it's evened out to about $225 to $250, but it's still a good game. But games fluctuate just like anything else. But you got to make sure you have your research. You got to go into it's like your dad always said, he loves the art of the negotiation. That's what he's the best. I've seen in my own eyes. He's one of the best. You know what I mean? But what I've learned from watching him do it, you know what you're willing to pay, but you got to make sure when you go in there, you got to know when to walk away. Everything, there's always another one. It's not like everything is stadium events where there's only 200 copies in the world. There's other ones you can find out there. You got to it's hard to walk away. Trust me. I've been at Dan's down at Planet Retro. I've gone in there and spent 3 hours debating myself on, is it worth trying to get this added to the collection or wait for the next price? And sometimes you got to walk away. But one good thing about having this stuff is it's mine then once it comes home. And I love looking at it. I come home, that's what your dad said. I come home from work. I sit in my game room right here. I look at all my systems out on display. I love them. I absolutely love it. It brings joy to me. You can't come home. I come home to have a beautiful wife. I have a great kid and my video games. Life is good. You know what I mean? Life is good.
I think you hit the nail on the head, and I think this is the biggest thing for any collector. And I don't care if you're collecting video games or you're collecting teaspoons. I could care less. The reality is you got to educate yourself. When you look at the price charting, and you kind of hit the nail there, that you got to look at the last sold, because when the last sold was 5 years ago, and they're using that as today's gauge, like there's something wrong. But see, with anything that you buy, and there's a lot of factors individualistic that go into it. There's a breaking point that you think it's a value or you don't think it's a value, and that's individualistic. Whether it's how much money you have in your pocket, whether it's how bad you want the game, whether it be when was the last time you've actually seen this game. Like there's a lot of factors that go in. Like if it's a game that you see at every store you go to, like you're willing to wait a little bit to hit the negotiation. But if you're after a game that you haven't seen in the last 10 years and it comes up, you might be willing to pay a little bit more. And I think that's back when it's anything that you're doing.
This adds a really interesting context to a question. And thing that I think about a lot is when you start to see these prices skyrocket for some of these games that are kind of harder to find. Does this, how do I want to word it? Does this go against game preservation? Does it start to harm the preservation of the game overall? Because obviously these games are pieces of art and people want to play them. Obviously people have fallen into emulation because, well, a lot of the markets for these older titles are getting outrageous nowadays, especially, for example, Chrono Trigger is like $225. Does this hurt we talked about artist intent and everything so on. Does this hurt the original format of the game and what the artist intended to play? Like if I want to go buy an NES and throw on Chrono Trigger or whatever, like, but it's going to be a $200 to $300 paywall. Does that ruin the innate preservation of this game?
It does not. And I'm going to tell you why. One, I agree, it's art, but I want the Mona Lisa to hang in I like art. So I want the Mona Lisa to hang in my house, but I can't afford it. So they make replicas of it, of some faction. That's the emulation. And again, to me, game playing is enjoyment. And there's, just like you said, you like to, read a physical book over something. When you emulate, there is things lost. So for the purist, collect the game. But for those that can't, I still think that the world should be able to enjoy the art and emulate it until you can. I'm not a big emulator. Like I don't emulate a lot of things. I could tell you that I've said this to Nate, and I've said it to you. Like I'm at the point I want to emulate Kuon because I'm into my horror games and I just want to see what it is. That's a game that could I afford it? Yes. Would I buy it? Not yet. Because if I'm going to spend that kind of coin, because I just got done telling you, I don't collect for investment. If I'm going to spend that kind of coin on a game like Kuon for the PS2, I better like it and want to play it. So I would go emulate, see if I like it, then potentially buy it. You and I do this, Kobe. We'll download a game or play it on Game Pass. If we like it, you and I both go out and buy the physical. Like we're just that type because we're physical people. So I think that you're not. Now, the downside to anything, and we'll get philosophical, is, it's a shame that on a resale value that the original artist doesn't get any compensation from it. Like that's a sad part to me. And I'm on a business side. I understand it. But that's a sad part, that somebody's art gets traded and sold and they never get, any monetization of that. If you buy a car and you sell it, I get that money, and then that person sells it, they get that money, but you're back to General Motors doesn't get any of it when they do it. So it's part of life that they get it from the first sale, not from the other. But I drilled on a little too much.
Well, do you have anything to add to that, Nate?
Like your dad said, like I when I buy something, the value has nothing to do with it for me. Honestly, like if it's expensive, hey, there's some expensive games like Rule of Rose. I would never spend that for that game. Horror game, don't see the point. But hey, to each its own. But like I said, you get something that's like one of my most, like I said, I just got Felix the cat, but like my wife got for my birthday. My birthday's coming up. Send me something. She got me Kirby's Dream Land. This game right here is a $200 plus game. got it for my birthday. But it's a great game. But when it first came out, this game cost $22, brand new out of the box. Why is it more now? Who knows? But when it comes to having an expense, like, they're beautiful games. They're arts. Just like your dad said, they're art. They're beautiful. Like, you can pop these into this day and still play and lose track of time and keep going. And it does suck for the artists. But what that does with the price shows how much that game means to the culture. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's some games out there that are horrible, that are expensive for no reason. But
yeah, but that's not necessarily true. They're horrible, but they're expensive because they might have been like stadium events, might have been the last game made on the system, things of that nature, low production run. So with any type of collecting, it's supply and demand.
Right. But but what I'm saying, it's not like, when something is good, the price is up here. When something's bad, the price is usually like, here, let's get rid of it. Like, perfect example, Game Boy Micro. I remember going to Toys R Us and saw them like hung on the 75% off rack. You get a Game Boy Micro for like $32. Now they're going for $200 plus. Was it a great system? No, because the screen was only this big. But because no one bought them, now the value's up. What I like is when a game is expensive and it's good. It just shows like Sonic Adventure 2. That's a Dreamcast game, and you can have the Sonic Adventure Battle for GameCube, which is cool, but the Dreamcast one, your dad knows he's going down the Dreamcast hole with me. The Dreamcast stuff was ahead of its time because most of the games are actually really good. They're actually really good.
Most underrated system out there.
The games itself are so good. Like Sonic Adventure 2 is so good. Like, it introduced Shadow. They made a movie about this guy. They made his own video game about him. That's how big he was. But you go over to the Dreamcast, and it's like, oh, it's Dreamcast. Oh, Dreamcast was great. It's actually controller's stupid setup, you know what I mean, with the power cord on the bottom. But I wasn't the design team on Sega. If it was up to me, there'd be no cords. They would have figured out how to do cordless years ago.
Sure. In the interest of time here, I'm going to ask you, and I know this is tough. What's your most expensive, worth-wise, in your collection? Could be a console, could be a game. What's your most expensive?
Well, right now, up there, I can tell you the top 5. Felix the Cat's up there because I just got him. Pokemon Heart Gold Complete. That's another one. Any Pokemon game is like $100 plus. Chrono Trigger is up there. Mega Man 5, but that's actually a good game. But my most expensive is my system. Here, hold on. I have it ready just to show you. I just gotta pull it out. This is my
throwing everything everywhere.
That's my most expensive right there.
There you go.
Oh, that's a cool one.
This and the controller, which my boy Steve hooked me up on a price on this. For what I paid for this and what it's worth now, I have tripled my money. If we're gonna go value,
I want to ask Cherry Tomato: Is that character? Is that a Final Fantasy character that he has there? Is that a Final Fantasy?
I get no.
Bro, stop rage baiting. Stop rage baiting.
Is that anime?
Is this anime? Is my question.
All right.
Kobe,
now I'm gonna ask you.
Does it count?
It's anime. Now we're gonna close it out, and I'll ask you, which is the hardest question. What's your favorite game? If you could only go, you're going onto an island, and you could only bring one game, what game would it be?
Only playing.
I'll give you a second to think about that. Only one game. Give you a second to think about it as we're closing out here. And
that's tough. That's really tough.
I know it is.
But
I know it is.
For me, it's
usually the first one that comes to your mind.
It's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 for PlayStation.
Interesting. I would have never guessed that from you.
Because because I think about it like this. You get good music and something to keep your adventure going. And it takes forever to complete all the tasks. Because you have to 100% the whole game to unlock the Spider-Man character. You have to get every character at 100%. There's 9 characters. Yeah,
there you go.
I mean, that's I can just remember playing that game for hours as a kid. I would go outside and try to do a manual, and it wouldn't work. So then I go inside and get like a long manual and a nose grind because I was too fat to go down the railing.
Quick, Bombay says, "Give me cheap, good games every day." Cherry Tomato Boy says, "How do I unsubscribe harder?" And Bombay says, "Resident Evil 2 for himself for the game he's taken to a remote island."
Nice. Mine's
I
gonna be
think-
Gears.
Yeah, I need to think. I don't have an answer off the top of my
Kobe,
head.
You know what? I take
Actually,
that back.
no, I do. Hang on.
I do.
Mine, I've always said, is Minecraft, because Minecraft is infinitely replayable to me.
To me, Minecraft is a really, really good answer.
How about
because
Fortnite?
I didn't think about that.
I'm not
What?
a Fortnite person.
I can't stand Fortnite. I said it before. Anybody that plays Fortnite, they're not a gamer.
Listen, my son was playing Fortnite the other night, and when I saw Snoop Dogg have the Snoop walk in the video game,
He's trip walking,
and
man.
I'm
Trip walk.
sitting there like, what? And now they have The Simpsons. Whoever made that game is a genius, like an absolute genius. Because
Well, it's epic.
Yeah, but
it's Epic Games.
it's just a genius. Like, it's so incredible. The Simpsons. You get to go into the world of The Simpsons, something that people who love The Simpsons have dreamed their whole life about.
Yeah, but without going off on a tangent here, this is why we said the kids nowadays, they'll never be able to go back and retro play that, Snoop Dogg, because it's gone. Like once they get done their seasons, they're
Right.
gone. And that's what I really feel sad for this generation, that you get onto these games that they really never will be able to go back to the child unless you're at the mercy of the studio, unless they say, well, geez, we're going to release this, which again, it's a season. It's a little bit different to release that on a physical or something along that nature. But I might do Minecraft, or now I think about it, I'd do like Fallout 4.
Well, when it comes for like you said with the little kids, my son, he's over there. Jacob's playing Gorilla Tag, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know what Gorilla Tag is?
Is that the VR
Yes,
game?
it's a VR game.
Yeah.
You were talking last week about VR, and he plays VR. That's something he loves to play.
I just
And he watches them on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I
Nice.
I was watching the Halloween edition. They had the Scream mask dressed up as a monkey.
Oh yeah.
And he chases you
Nice.
around trying to stab you. And I'm sitting there watching this with him, and he's like screaming and yelling and talking to him. And I'm sitting there going, well, at least gaming is still going for kids. You know what I mean?
Correct.
But like I always tell him, come sit out here, grab a physical copy, let's put this in and have a good time with it. It's still, I tell him all the time,
Sure.
sit down and play this. He's up there running around doing that. I can't do all that. That's too much for me.
But we are at the end, and I would like to thank each and every one of you for joining. Nate, thank you for joining the podcast. It was a blast. Thank you for going in, doing PS2 talk, collecting talk. We got some good, insightful answers. Thank you to each and every one of you for joining today and commenting. Those who find this later, hello, welcome, and I hope you enjoyed this crazy ride with many different crash outs from many different people throughout the podcast. That being said, you can follow us on all of our socials right here on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Blue Sky. We're at Active Reload Gaming. On Twitter or X and Twitch, we're at Active Rel. That is with an REL, Active Rel Gaming. Top left corner, and me in this little space right here. You can join our Discord. Feel free to scan the QR code, hop in, start building a community with us, and have some fun. We're going to be back next week with Outer Worlds 2, Keeper, and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 review. I hope each and every one of you have a great rest of your weekend, and we will catch you all next time.